Hey Dwight, can you hear me, buddy?
Can you hear me as well?
Yeah, there we go. All right, we're live.
All right.
All right, so let me show you. So what we're going to take a look at tonight is a chat feature that Dwight and I were discussing on a coaching session that we had last week. One that I've never actually built before, so I'm kind of excited to build it together and see which direction to go in because there's a few different ways that we can do this. So let me show you what I have, and you can tell me where to start.
Okay.
So let's share this screen 2. All right, so you got my screen?
Yep.
All right, cool. So I built a very crude chat feature just so we can kind of test with this. So what it does right now, like if I have, like I'm logged in as John and I'm clicking into this conversation. Hey there. Nice to meet you. All right, so I'm logged in as John and I'm starting a conversation with Salma here, who is another user in the database. And now you can see here, there's no indicator that there's any new messages in this conversation. It's just, because I sent them. But if I go run this as Salma, that not work? I guess not. All right. Before I had it working where there was a little indicator on the bottom. I wonder why that's not showing up now. Search for message count. Red is equal to no. Created, not created by the current user. Yeah, that should have worked. Let's try it again. Let's try it from the other way. Good. Two. And so it doesn't show up there. But when I run it as John, I should see a note that there's an unread message. Yeah, okay. So you see how there's like one unread message here on the bottom? You with me, Dwight?
Yeah. Yep. The one at the bottom.
Yeah. So is that what do you want to start from that point? Do you have that already set up?
No, I do not have that set up. So yeah, so that is an option there. So you want to start there and then move to if they're already looking at the chat, new messages below.
Yeah, I mean it's up to you really. I there was two things we discussed and I wasn't sure which was the
Yeah.
bigger priority for you. This is, I have this set up and the other thing we can work on that first though if that's more important. Totally your call.
Yeah, I think just thinking about Uh, yeah, fuck it. Let's go ahead. Let's do what you just did, and then we can go from there. So yeah, show me how you knock that out.
All right. So what happens when so you have the data structure set up for a chat conversation, right? You have that functionality already built.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So let's start from the point where there is I added a new data type, or rather a new column to the messages data type, which is red, and that's
Okay.
just a Boolean value.
All
So
right.
it's just a yes no.
So let me go ahead and add that one as well. So you have red and unread, I'm assuming, or just red. Okay.
Yeah, just red, and you can make it a yes or no. And I suppose you can even set the default to no if you want to. That
Okay. Yeah, makes
kind of
sense.
makes sense. I didn't do
All
that,
right.
but it seems like a better way to do that instead of doing it in the workflow.
Okay. Yep. That's added.
All right. So then when the message gets created, and that's for me, that's the icon send is clicked. So it creates the message. It links the conversation. You probably have that set up. It takes the text that's in the input, and then it sets the value to red equals no. Again, you might not need to set this one because you have the default set up, but you can do it that way too. All right. And then from there, whenever so let's check this part out, right? So what we're doing, the query here that produces the number is we're just searching for the message, searching for all messages that are red equals no.
Okay.
And then created by is not the current user. And there needs to be another, this is only set up for one conversation. So you'll need to add another constraint that's like the person is in this conversation or something like that.
Yeah.
I didn't do that, but you can kind of see the direction that this is going.
Okay. So let me just grab, let's undo that. Let me just grab my little setup right here. And okay, and so I'm assuming you just have a group there, icon, then with a numbered field or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So the outer group is an aligned to parent, and that contains the icon and the text element that's showing the number of unread messages.
Okay.
I use the line to parent only because you probably don't have to do that, but it's just easier to like overlay elements to get it that close. I feel like line to parent is the easiest.
Yep, I gotcha. And grabbing this text here. Okay. And then so go to your text
Yep.
To the number again, and that is search for messages, message count. Gotcha.
Count. And then there's going to be a few constraints that you need so that you're counting the right number of messages. Mm-hmm. Alternatively, I don't even know if you have to count them. You can just have like an indicator that there are new messages. That might do it too. It's really up to you.
Okay. Yeah. Let's. I rather do that. There is a count. I'm sorry, just an indicator rather than a count.
Got you. Yeah. So just use like an icon or something.
Yep.
Like a check mark, or I don't know what'll indicate that, but.
All right. Let me scrap that text field. Drop it in the check mark. Copy paste that icon.
And then you can just set the condition. Like, I think all you would really need is like a condition like this, where it says search for message. If the count is not 0, then this element is visible. It's the same search constraint, but you're doing it as it's the same search, but you're doing it as a conditional statement as opposed to like, the count.
Okay. Adding condition. And we want to say receiver, right? They would need it. So
yeah, even better if you have like the receiver, or recipient, or sender set up. That's a little bit easier to work with because you can say like only if this person is the recipient, show this.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Moving on.
All right. I think that's it. I think that's it for this. That's all I have. It's got the search. Just make sure that the condition is set here. Like you probably don't want it visible on page load, so have this unchecked for
Oh yeah, yep,
the
you're right.
icon that you use, and then you use the search to create a conditional statement for when it's greater than 0, this element is visible.
Okay. All right. Cool.
All right. And that's it. That's really that's the basis for how this works. And then right. So actually, no, the more important part here would be like when the person clicks, right? So John has one new message from Salma. You can see the indicator here. And then when I click, the event that brings this back to 0 is if I click into the conversation. All right. So I clicked in there. I see the new message. And then if I go back, it's not there anymore. So Let me just show you that workflow. And this, the action that actually changes it will be a little bit different for you, but it is group RG combos is clicked, make changes to a list of messages. I use multiple only because, it could be more than one message that gets changed. All the ones that are pertaining to the current conversation and that red equals no.
Okay. So again, if I guess scrolling rather than pressing each message, or clicking each message, thinking about from a mobile aspect.
Yeah, exactly. Like if Salma sends me 3 messages here, you don't want to have to click on each one in order to bring that number down. Once you click into the conversation, you can pretty much say, all right, these numbers are, not helpful anymore. And also in your case, it's oh yeah, well, it doesn't matter. The count doesn't matter for you, but still it would still need to be a list in your case, because if there's more than one message sent, then it'll show up. You know what I mean? Like that constraint will still be true, that there are unread messages. So it definitely has to be a list.
Okay, so now, so just thinking about this, right? Because there could be groups. So if a group message is sent, it would need has to go to that list of users. So the message chat feature, all of the messages are stored in just one big message chat. So all the users see that same message. But if it's but when the message is sent, I guess itemizing that to where it treats each user's view differently. So am I still accomplishing that? This way, if in my message data type, I added the new, read or, read feature, yes or no.
No.
Would
No,
that change, right? Because that would change it for the whole group then, right?
Yeah. No, that's a great point. That's a great point. All right, so let's think through that. You have a whole team, so it can't be on the user, because the user could be involved in multiple conversations, right? The red.
Yeah. Yep. True.
It can't do it that way.
I will say I have the users. So the users will always be in the same group. The group could have multiple chat conversations, not the users. So so let's say the group maintains all of the users. All of those users would have the exact same chat conversation, but they could have it with different groups. So I would need to change it maybe on the group chat. Wait, am I saying that right?
It seems almost like there has to be a message. There has to be a message, and within that message, there's no limit to how many people can be in the group, right?
No, right.
Shit. How do we do that?
So, so when a new message is created, every user within that group gets notified of the message via push notification,
Mhm.
whatever. It links them directly to the chat. Is there a way to determine if they access that push notification or if they access that chat notification? So they click that, maybe they click that mail icon, the user, that writes something to that user's profile. I mean, to that user's database. And then maybe there is a, like you have the arrow below, there's an arrow condition that says, okay, also if user clicked on this mail icon.
You know what? I think since you're not concerned. No, the count, it doesn't matter whether it's a count because it's a count just for that person, whether or not the person themselves, and there has to be a, I almost feel like we need another data type to see if the message, like there's like a read receipt almost. That just
Yeah.
seems so, it seems like so much extra work. There seems like there should be an easier way to do that.
Right.
But I don't see it. I don't see how you can do it with just the message. You got a group, you got the group within that. Can we take I don't know, can you share your screen? I want to take a look at the data structure and see if that
Yep.
triggers something.
Where are we at? Screen share.
Because I was definitely approaching this from just a two-person conversation, but I can see why that won't work for you.
So bear with me 1 second, trying to find, first time using this platform, trying to find the share button. I only see mute, disable camera, and settings. I see the private chat feature on the left-hand side, but I'm not seeing anything that says share. So I don't know if it's a permission thing.
There should be do you see a square with the arrow pointing up?
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yep, I was in full screen, so that all those some of that stuff was not visible.
Got you.
All right, now that I'm out of full screen. All right, so we are going to share this screen.
All right, let me put that in the stream. Okay, I'm gonna go full screen now so that I can see yours. All right, cool.
Yeah, so we would almost, I don't know, have to make a duplicated. I was kind of thinking, so all right, so let me just show you this right here. So when the message is sent, someone in the chat sends a message, it creates the message. You know, it creates the message content, the message chat, etc. You know, and it also makes changes to the chat. So a message is created as a data type first, and then it adds that message to the group's chat. Okay, at this step here. So maybe there needs to be another database change, maybe on the user side, that I don't know, is somehow linked to that chat or linked to the step one message, to see if they viewed it or clicked into it or
Right. But the only problem I have with that is that what if they can be part of more than one group at the same time,
right.
right?
Is
So
there a way you can do it based on, I guess, message scroll? Like maybe the interface would recognize what position your scroll bar is at or something as you
maybe,
scroll down.
but that doesn't change the problem. Like the way
Yeah.
that it's triggered to make the message read doesn't change, right? We still have to have some way to structure that where each person has its own unique read receipt, whatever we call it,
Right.
that's tied to that particular conversation. And that's what I think we're trying to figure out. How we initiate that can be through a workflow. Maybe
Yeah.
there's some way to do it on scroll. But problem that we're solving is more of like the how to set the data up to support this. All right, so let's talk through like the you have a chat here, you have the groups. Can we take a look at the
chat and the message? So a message is created, and then that message is written to the chat. So that way, that group's chat will always be together. So this is chats, for example, right? So these are the group IDs, and then these are the IDs of the messages and who created them. So every time, so let's take this group for example here. These are two different groups, unique IDs. So anytime a message is created, that message is nested within their chat, so that way it always writes to the same two when the same two groups are talking to each other.
So when we say groups, these two groups of people are communicating with one another.
Correct. So within so group A could have 3 or 4 different users, and group B same thing, 3 or 4 different users.
Oh Jesus, that makes it more confusing.
Yeah.
We're a many to many. We got many
Yeah.
groups, multiple messages, and multiple chats.
Yep. You can almost think of it as a WhatsApp group chat.
WhatsApp group chat. Yeah, I guess so, because you can be in part of different group. Oh Jesus. Okay. All right. And then just to zoom out for a second, and what we're doing, we're trying to figure out how to uniquely show who has unread messages, who has messages that they have not seen. And they can be part of any number of groups, any number of chats, and there can be any number of messages. Oh man, I feel like it has to be. I think it has to be another data type, dude. I really do. I think it has to be another data type where it's like
that's what I think as well.
I don't see any other way to do it. Damn, I really didn't want to make another data type for this, but why don't we go down this route and see where it takes us?
Yeah.
And we'll see if there's a better way.
All right. And so what should this data type be called here?
I guess just like read receipt or something like that.
Yep.
And then we'll need which columns here? We'll need
we probably want, I'm assuming we would want the user so we can link them together somehow.
We'll need a user field because the user is not necessarily going to be the creator of the message.
We'll call this group user. Okay.
And that's going to be one. Each row is going to be unique.
Yep.
Unique. There's going to be a message. Definitely.
Right.
And that's only going to be one message.
Now, should it be my message data type so that way they can talk to each other? Or if you set it as a text value, a text type, would that break the chain somehow?
I think it needs to be linked to the message table.
Message. Yep.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does. Because we're specifically, and then there's going to be, we're going to move that red, the Boolean value, the yes, no, to this table, right?
Yep,
I think.
yes,
Yeah,
no.
we have to do that.
And then we'll say,
now, question for you. And tell me what you think about this. Do we need to, if the message is already part of a conversation and the conversation is already part of a group, do we need to have a have a conversation or group field here too? I don't think we do. right? Because there's already a link between the message and the group that or the conversation that it's a part of. You've already have that link set up. So I think we're good with just these 3 fields.
Yeah. Maybe, I guess, do we need the chat? Maybe I'll add just the chat in case we need it. Well, let's see, is that beneficial?
I don't think it could hurt. I don't think it could hurt to add. If we don't need it, you could always delete it.
Yeah. All right. So we'll just call it chat. Okay. Just so I can specify YN. Yes. All right. Okay. So chat, user message, yes, no. I think that would suffice.
Now, here's where it's going to get a little complicated. We need to create multiple records here with a single action, right? When a new message gets created, it's going to have to create like 4 of these. It's going to have to create however many people, how many number of people there are in the chat, right?
Okay, gotcha. So I captured that. So let me just add a new action. I'm assuming make changes to a thing.
I think we're creating a thing.
Oh, yep, creating a thing. So
a new read receipt.
Let's bring this over for the sake of this. All right. Let me also think about. So, all right. So here's an example. So there's a minimum of 2 members and there's a maximum of 6 members. Okay. So, we create a new thing and then set a condition to make multiple, or I guess you can go about it 2 ways, right? I mean, do we have different event conditions based on the group number, or do we set that all, in the actual when the message is created by just adding only when parameters?
You can do that. You can do it with conditionals. You can also do it with the backend workflow because you can conditionally pass the number of people in that chat to the backend, and it'll loop however many number of times that what that number says. So if it's 6, it'll loop 6 times to create 6 records.
Gotcha.
But you can also do it with the conditional way. I'm pretty sure that'll work too.
Okay, so planning for the future, backend might have better performance.
I think, yeah, 100% that the backend workflow is the more efficient way to do it.
Okay.
Because it won't it's going to have to create those 6 records before the action before the workflow completes, and that load bar is going to be kind of slow. Versus where if it just triggers the backend workflow, that's just one step, and then that will that will happen on the background. The user doesn't have to wait for that to complete. So definitely more performant to move that process to the backend.
Okay. Yep. So let's go ahead and do that then.
Okay.
So I won't be creating a new thing then here, correct?
Not here. Let's go to the back end and let's do a new API workflow. And let's call this create read receipt. Something to that effect.
All right.
And then we'll need a few parameters here. We're going to need the count, the number of people. So you see where it says add new parameter? Okay. Let's do the count, the user count. Yeah, exactly. That's going to be a number. And then we need we need a list of users.
Okay, so what do I have on this? Just group member. So we'll change this then to group member count.
Yeah.
Then we'll get group users. And it will have to pull from the current group. Okay.
Well, that's that's the parameter that you're passing. So this is going to be the type user, and then you're going to make that a list, because we're going to pass that whole list into the back end from the front end.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then I guess just the message itself, which is not a list. It's just going to be one message, because we're going to loop that however many number of times we need to. That's just going to be a type message and single. And then I think we also need a counter to tell it when the loop to stop. It's going to have the number of iterations, how many number of users there are. So add a counter here. I'm pretty sure we're going to need this. Again, if we don't, we can just delete it, but I'm pretty sure we do.
And we just want the number?
Yes. All right, cool. So that's the event. Now let's actually create the thing, create a message. And then we're going to set 3 fields.
Well, are we creating, what was it, a message or the read receipt?
Oh, yeah, you're right. Read receipt.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Okay. And so we want one, okay, so we want group message chat
is going to be equal. That's just going to be the group message chat. Is that what you named the message parameter?
Correct. Well, nope. So I have the message parameter here. The group message chat was that extra field in case we needed to link the chat. So all the messages get nested in the chat, so we know which groups are communicating with each other.
Oh, we're going to need to pass that too then.
Yep.
All right. So let's get a chat parameter in there also.
All right. The question is, okay, so current users, I got it. Current group, where's it at? Current group. And trying to think how I have this linked.
I think what you want to do here is pass in the same way that we're passing the message and the group members from the front end. I think you're going to want to pass that as a parameter, right? So in the message tab here, go back to the backend workflow and set the message equal to message, right? So that should accept it, because the message, it's going to take what's coming through the workflow and assign that here to this field, and the message is equal to the message data type. So that should work. The group user, I don't know if you want that to be current user. We want that to be the list is coming through the workflow, the list of users. So we're going to set it to group users and then item number counter, because we wanted to iterate each time in that loop for a different user, because we need to create a different read receipt for each user that's in that group, right?
Right. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Mm-hmm.
And then for the what was the other field that we set? Not the
group chat, and then we have the read yes no.
Okay, perfect. So then the read here should be,
because defaulted as no.
Oh, maybe you don't even need to set it. Yeah, cool.
Right.
Let's not even set that one. Let's see if that works. All right. So then just go back to the event here, the API workflow event. and then add another parameter for the conversation. I think it was the one that we were missing.
The chat.
Yeah, the chat.
Yep. So we'll just call it group. And grab the chat. All right.
All right, and then let's get the that last field in there. Okay. Now let's test this part first. So we haven't set up the loop yet. So if this works the way that we expect, then it should do one thing. It should go through one iteration and then only create a read receipt for the first person in that list.
Okay.
So that's what we would expect. Let's test that first to see how far off we are here, because this is going to take a couple of times to get it right.
Yep.
All right, let's go back to where you create the chat or the message rather.
All right, right here.
All right, and then go to create a new action. You're going to want to trigger the backend workflow because we're creating the read receipts on the backend now.
Right. Okay. Get scroll down here a bit.
Should be the one all the way on the bottom. It says like it's behind the our heads, so I can't see it. But it should be in the last option there. It's like
trigger a custom event.
No, it's not a custom event. Click here to add another action on the top. And then what's the bottom option on the left side?
Custom events.
Yeah, and then schedule an API workflow. Is that an option?
Yep.
Perfect. Okay, so then the API workflow we're going to say is the
create read receipt.
Yep, perfect. And then schedule date, we can just do current date and time. And then the member count is going to be the conversation or the chat is created in step 2, right?
Yep, correct.
Right, cool.
Yeah. So the message, yeah. So we want so I can pull it however.
I think you can pull it as result of step 2.
Let me just verify. Yeah. So that's going to drop the groups. This would have. Okay.
Let's try it.
Yeah, let's test it out. Result of step 2 groups. Each item's members.
Yep, and then count.
So we have the member. Well, so each item's member count is right here.
Oh, cool. You already have that as a field.
Oh, but this needs a list though, right?
That should only need a single. It should evaluate to a single number.
Yeah. So for example, where is it at? For right now, it's a list of numbers.
So you're
maybe because it's two groups.
So let's not use that field. Let's use a different field. Let's go result of step 2.
All right. So here's a thought, right? So in step 1, I have sender group and receiver group. We can maybe break it out, to focus on one group, or we can grab both groups. And that's what I'm saying. Maybe it's grabbing both groups, so it's putting in, a count from group A and a count from group B to make a list.
Oh wow.
Right. So let's see what happens if I grab result of step 1 and I just focus on the receiver group, because realistically that's who needs to view the message. So the receiver groups.
Good point.
Message users, group members. Oh, member count. There we
go. Perfect. Nice job.
All right. Let me get rid of this. All right. Group users. So basically the same thing. Let me just copy this. Paste that and then change that to members. All right. Message. We'll get that from step 1.
Counter can just be 1.
Okay. Okay. And group chat would be resolved to step 2, right? Yeah.
Beautiful. That should be everything we need.
Okay. All right. So I am going to send myself a message from my phone really quick. Let's see what happens. Let's go to the data. Read receipts. All right. So I'm already logged in on these devices. Let me just refresh. All right, new. Okay. All right, so new message has been sent. We see that it has now written to
Nice.
the DB.
Yep, we got the message, we got the user, we got the chat, but the red is blank. So that default to no did not work.
Right.
Oh, did we set that default to no? Because we did it on the first one. I don't know if we did it on
Yeah,
the
we did it
one.
in the from the. Oh no, it wasn't.
Because
Oh,
we
no.
set,
Yep.
yeah, remember the original one we put on the, it was in the, like the message or something like that, and we moved it.
So was that on the back end?
No. You go back to the read receipt data type.
Yep.
And then see the defaults there, it's blank. That's why it didn't say
Gotcha.
anything.
Yep.
But
Gotcha.
now if you do that same thing again, it should create it.
All right. Let's try this again. Refreshing the app.
There we go. See, the top one is no.
Mm-hmm.
All right, perfect. So can you do me one favor and change the search field of the group user so that we can see who that got created for. So go back to data and then click the magnifying glass and then change the, I guess it would be the user search field here. Just change that to somebody's name or email so that we can make sure that it's getting, it's creating it for different people and not the same person, because that's a strong possibility. Yeah, hit save. No, UAT user 7. Oh, okay.
Yeah, UAT user 7. Yep, so we got 10. I thought I was logged in as UAT user 9. Yeah, so that quite didn't pull in the correct one, unless I'm tripping. Hold on, let me just test one more time. Test. Send it from the other phone this time.
It's not necessarily going to be who you're logged in as. It's going to just be the first person in that list. Oh yeah, that was you. That was 10.
Got it. So the first phone I sent from UAT user 10, which is why it added the recipient UAT user 7. So this is the correct recipient for this most recent message.
Gotcha.
Don't know why this is saying UA2 user 7 when I'm logged in as 9. Even on my message screen, it shows me UA2 user 9, but maybe I can look at that later. So, but at least that's pulling that in.
All right, so let's set up the loop now. So that worked once. Now let's set it up for the number dynamically for the number of people that are. How many people are in that recipient group that you just created?
There are two members in each group currently.
2 members in each group. So two read receipts should be created, right? Because there's only 2 people in the receiving group.
Right.
Okay, sweet. All right, let's go back to the back end.
Oops. I don't know, my system is a little slow. And I have an incredible gaming PC, and it's moving hella slow right now. Maybe it's just bubble.
Are you on Twitch?
No, I'm not on Twitch. No. But I've thought about it. Just I don't have the time.
Yeah, gotcha. All right.
Oh, read receipts here. Gotcha.
Let's go to. Yeah. All right. So let's click here to add another action in the second step. All right. So we're going to call this API workflow again. So go to custom events, and then schedule.
Because
schedule an API
scheduled from
workflow.
the front end, right?
Exactly. Yep. You're right. That's the one. Schedule an API workflow.
From the front end or the back end?
We're calling it.
Initially scheduled. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So what's happening is we're taking the information from the front end and passing it to the back end. But once it's there, we don't need to go back to the front end again.
Gotcha.
We can just keep looping this information through.
And we just grab the read receipt, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay. It should be just step 1, right?
Well, that's the scheduled date. You can do current date and time for that.
You're right. Clear that out. All right, member count that I pass. Oh, so we have to grab all of this again.
Well, the member count is not going to change, so that you can just do that. That's easy. The group users is going to be, that's the one that we're going to have to iterate on. So the message is not going to change. So do the message one first. We'll leave the hard one for last. Do the message, and then that is the counter. Oh, okay. Do result. Actually, I'm sorry. It's going to be counter +1 because we want to capture the number of times we're iterating. Counter +1. I think that should do it. And then the group chat should be the same part. Okay, so then the group user should be group users, item number, counter.
Members, I'm assuming is what we're looking for. Hey, members.
That might not be right. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if I told you. I don't know if I told you the right
side.
thing.
Yeah, this is on the user side. Okay, so I can still get the group users. So I can grab group, current group, members. If that's what we're looking to get, or we're looking to get.
Let's see what that gives us. What you did there. It's actually getting a little blurry. It's hard for me to see it. But let's see what result that. Oh, we have to set up the condition too, for it to stop, because otherwise this will create read receipts forever. Yeah. So let's say when the it's going to be the user, the count, the member count is. We only want this to set up again when it is when the member count is less than or equal to the counter, the number of iterations. Okay. Let's see what that gives us. We may, if this keeps going, if that condition is wrong, it's going to keep going. We're going to have to jump into the logs tab and pause the actions. Otherwise, it's going to create like 1,000 records, and we don't want that. So
gotcha.
just kind of have your finger like ready to go on the logs, if we see that there's too many records being created.
All right. Let me get my other screen here on the side. Logs. And there we go. Scheduler, right? Yep. Okay. Let me just think. So group users, item number, counter, and then group, current groups, group members.
It's evaluating to a list. I'm surprised that it's letting it do that. I'm curious to see what the result of that is.
Group users.
Can we go back to step 1 for a second? I just want to see what did we put in for the group user? We put group user item number counter there, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so maybe we don't even have to. I think we just have to do pass the group users back again because it's counting it in step 1. That's what it.
Yeah.
I confused it. It just has to be group users.
Okay. So then we need
It should accept that. It should just accept because it's looking for a list, and then we're doing the count in the creative step. So this actually should do it. This should do it. Let's try that and see what happens.
All right. Let's get a message going here.
I would delete the current messages in the database just so we can see it fresh. We want to make sure that we're only getting 2.
These ones here?
Yeah, get rid of those ones that we created.
All right. Refreshing the app here. All right. All right, message sent.
Cool. Nothing yet. We got 1. Read is no. All right, so it didn't create the second one. Okay, so that could mean a couple of things. There could be something wrong with our.
You know what? Let me double check, and maybe that's why it's not displaying the other user. So group UAT user 7 and 9 are in a group together, or they should be. So let me check my back database to make sure I didn't remove one for testing, which I don't think I did.
Okay.
But so current groups and oh, it's got both members. Let me just verify these are their unique ID. Yeah, it's even got both users' profile picture. Okay. And let me just verify from the user side that user still active in that group. So user 9, current group unique ID. Yep. And this user's unique ID ends in 2200. Yeah. Yep. So the group is intact. The users are still intact. Not sure why it's
I think I know what's wrong. I think the condition on the loop is incorrect.
okay.
Let's go back to the
Run in.
The member count is the counter is greater than or equal to the member count. So that means if the counter is on 2 and the member count is 2, it will go again. If it's greater than or equal to, the member count needs to be. The member count should be less. The member count. Yeah. So, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Basically, once it hits that the member count, it can't be 1 over.
It should stop. Yeah, right. Exactly.
So, and the counter, and we set the counter as. What do you set the previous counter? Group users, item number
counter. We set it at 1 from the front end, and then we're adding one to it in every loop. So I'm pretty confident that that part is okay. Counter +1, because we're adding it as it goes through every loop. Actually, you know what we could do? Go to your logs tab. Let's do this. I should have thought of this first. And then let's go to your server logs, and let's just see what happened in the last like 5 minutes. Yeah. Okay. Now 3 is fine. I don't think it was that long ago. Okay. This is action condition failed. Make changes to chat. That doesn't seem like what we're looking for. We're not making changes to anything. Keep going. I don't think we're looking at a message at the back end yet. There we go. This is
Still wondering why those conditions failed, but okay. I know what that's for, so we can ignore that.
That looked like the push notification.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So we can ignore all of that. We can ignore all that. Where's the message? Yeah, it's just grabbing. Okay, so icon send is clicked. Okay, so the message just starts here. Here it goes. Creating a new
message. Okay.
Yep.
There's your push notification. Cool. Should be the next step after that. Should trigger the workflow. There it is. Schedule API workflow. The counter is 1. That's fine. Message. There's a list. Oh, there's only one user in that list.
So capture. So isn't it this here? Member count, because there is 2 members in the group. So it looks like it grabbed it correctly.
But why is there only one? You see in group users below, there's only one. You see there's only one unique ID in there.
Gotcha. Right. And that's why I was trying to see why is it not so maybe the group users field is the problem.
Let's check the let's check. Well, but you're right though. It picked up the count correctly, but it didn't create the list. So that to me seems like a problem from the front end. The part in the front end where that workflow is initiated.
Oh, nope. I think this is it. Oh yeah.
I guess we can see if those two things are the same, right? The member count result of step 1, it's the same. You see, it should be the same, right? It should be the same thing. Can we just double check in the database that the oh, you already checked that.
Yep. So member count is 2. So that's correct. And group users. So it's not. I mean, right? It's pretty right. It's pretty simple here. Just pulling in first receivers group, just like it is on this one. So it's pulling in number 2. It's the exact same thing. It's just the members.
All right. Can we go back? Let's go back to the logs. Let's see if it set it up again, because that'll tell us whether it's the condition or not. If it ends there, that was the first one. Fine. Create read receipt. Started running workflow. Event condition passed. We should see count. Okay, so look, the action condition failed there. Can you go back up? It said something failed. Yeah, okay, that failed. Okay, so it has to be our condition. It has to be the condition because it failed right there. It didn't go through that second loop. Yeah, that's the one.
All right. So that's on the back end then, right?
Yep.
Oh, let me just highlight this a bit. Whatever. Cayenne. Okay. All right. So our condition is below right here.
Yes. It's going to be the only when. This is, I mean, we can, it's hard to think of this. Check my logic here.
Okay. So for the counter aspect, remind me when we set the initial counter.
In the front end, we set it to 1, right? When it starts triggers the backend workflow to run.
Right, +1. So
the first time should be 1. That's passing a 1 through there, and then
right. Now, is it reading the correct counter? That's the other question.
oh, I think, yeah, okay. I think the sign needs to be the other way. I think the member count. Right, because if the member count is greater than the counter, then it will go again. We were stopping it at the first time. Okay, I think it's either going to be. I know that the sign should be facing this way. I'm not sure if it's greater than or equal to though.
So basically, let's say member count is 2, and the counter is whatever. So yeah. So if the member count is greater than the current count, it should continue to run.
Yeah, that's the way that I'm thinking about it too.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let's try that.
I guess I'll whack these messages.
I'll be right back.
Yep. All right. Let's get a refresh here. Okay, so that message came through. Okay, so it's fine. It finally has pulled in UAT user 9 and UAT user 7.
How'd we do?
It's finally pulled in both UAT users on the
All right.
UAT user 9 and 7. Now it's created a blank one. So did we miss something here?
I think it's because of the greater than or equal to. I think it should just be greater than.
Yeah. All right, so let's go back. All right, let's run one more test.
This is like how I spend all my time in Bubble, like testing these loops is literally what I do all day. And we did pretty good. Usually I overload the server with like 1,000 records. We did good. We did good by not doing that.
All right, let's changed sign. Okay, so the message has been sent. Okay, looks like that did it. Let's get a refresh there. Okay. And if it were in some infinite loop, we would continue to see these continue to generate, correct?
We would know. Yeah, we would know. You'd see hundreds of records, probably like 50 records by now.
Yep. Okay.
So we're good there. Now I guess the step is to just set the count up on the front end so that the current user sees how many or if there are messages that are unread.
Okay. All right. So back in the node where the message is sent.
Yeah, let's go to your design tab. Do you have like that little icon or whatever that you set up?
Yeah, and it got messed up somehow. Shit. I don't know how it got friggin' small like this. Material icon. All right, let me just grab another one really quick. Hate that the default icon. Why is it so small? Shit. I think there's a little bit of lag that's causing.
I think maybe refresh the editor. That seems like there you got a little.
Yeah. But I'm also wondering, did I undo too much? Oh, yeah, nothing's happening. All right. Let me close my other editor too, so that's not causing a jam or anything. Let me close. I think I got a couple open too. Oh shit! This is all the way on the side here. Oh. Okay. All right. There we go. Hopefully that didn't knock anything out of sync.
All right, we got our icon now.
Yeah, but for some reason it's a freaking small dot. What is going on here? All right, let's just grab an icon again.
I wonder why it's showing up so small like that. It's weird.
Yeah.
There we go. That one looks
All right.
cool.
Yep, icon. I don't know. Something's wrong with the Google icon. Let me just get rid of this border here so that looks something like something. And we'll just grab a, I don't know, check mark, whatever. We'll grab this chat button here.
There you
Make
go.
it pop a little bit. Fine. Whatever. All right. What else? I guess that makes sense.
All right, so the layout. Let's go to the layout tab, and that's going to say. Oh shit! Yeah, you can't use that icon.
Yeah.
Oh wait. Oh, we're on the old responsive. That's why. Just uncheck this. This element is visible on page load, and then go to the conditional tab, and this is where we're going to build the search. So say, do a search for read receipts. Yeah. Yep. Red is equal to no. And then the user of the read receipt is the current user. So we're only looking at their unread messages. I don't think it really matters which chat it pertains to. It's just an indicator that they have new messages.
Okay, so again, wait. So what are we doing here? Because
add a new constraint, and then group user is equal to current user. And then finish that. I think those are the only two constraints that you need. And then go to finish the when statement off. The conditional there to just be the count. Back over. You're adding another constraint right now. Do you want to do that?
Nope.
All right. So hit count there, top one. And then the count is greater than 0. Right? So if there are any, if this search finds any unread messages, then show this icon.
Yep.
So then select a property when this is true. And then this element is visible, and then check. Okay, that should be it. That's true. Now this makes it really easy because it's its own data type. Now we don't have to worry about like searching. I mean, the hard part obviously
Right.
is setting up that friggin' workflow. But
Yeah.
now whoever's logged in, if they have any unread messages, they're going to see this icon. So that's good.
All right.
And also, if they click, I mean, we can. You tell me where you want to go from here. Do you want to make them unread? Like make the message unread, or read equals yes rather, or do you want to work on that new message scrolling thing?
So once they read it, hide it again is what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's knock that out really quick. So just another condition, right?
No, this is actually going to be part of the workflow now because we need to change that read receipt.
Oh, so it hides it once it's visible. Gotcha.
Yeah, we got to change the value of the read receipt to read equals yes.
Okay.
So you need to decide. The decision you need to make is where do you want when should this message be considered read? Should it be considered read once they click into the conversation, into the group?
Well, and that's the thing, once you're looking at, a ton of messages, I mean, because we're only fitting 4 in here at a time in a repeating group, what if they're already on the page, and what if there's 10 more below? Like how's that handled? Or right, so they could come in, read a message, someone sends a new message after they're already on the page, then what? Does it show this indicator here, or yeah.
Are you trying to decide when the okay, so maybe it's kind of like an all or nothing, or
I got
are we
you.
doing this by individual message? I think that's
Yeah.
what we're talking about here, right? Like
Yes, I would like to do it by individual message.
okay, got you. And we could do
Again,
that.
going with the WhatsApp kind of mentality.
Now, when you click into the so are each of these in this repeating group, these are different conversations here?
So nope. So in this entire page right here is created for each group's chat that's created. So when two groups start talking to each other, they all come to this one page here, based on group A or group B. So every time two different groups are communicating, a new page of this same sort is created specifically just for that group with the group IDs and the URL, and then pulls the data from there.
All
So right. So each one of these messages could be any message from group A member, or it could be any message from group B member. But the group's combined chat will always be on this same page here.
All right. So can you preview this? I think it'll make it easier for us to decide if we're actually looking at what's happening.
And I might need to do it on my cell, because once I preview, it's going to recognize someone's not logged in and just take them to the home screen. So let me share my cell to the computer really quick. I'll project to PC. And let's do smart share, smart view.
Yeah, you taught me this. The smart share thing. I'm gonna start using that.
Oh, I have to switch screens. Screens I'm sharing.
Yeah, let me take your current screen out of the stream.
Disconnect. That's the one thing you have to tell it what screen to switch to. So let me put that there, and that should do it. Now let me restart it again.
Oh, right. Thank you, Kindred. I appreciate that. Thanks for checking in. Cool format, soaking in some major brain power. I'm always wondering whether this is like interesting to watch or boring to watch, but I'm happy to hear that it's helpful. Thanks for tuning in, man.
All right. So you see now. So you have different messages from, so basically if it's green, it's the other group. If it's red, it's a member in my.
Oh,
So if
hang
it's
on.
green, it's a member in my group. If it's red, it's a member in the other group. Essentially, as a differentiator there.
I'm getting restream right now. I can't see your screen.
Oh shit. Hold on here. We go. Oh yeah, I forgot to hit press share. My bad. And where's the All right, let me go back to the chat. Reshare again.
This is a pretty challenging feature. I never built this type of thing for a multiple group chat app.
Yeah.
Like I've never done that before. This is challenging. This is making me think a lot.
Streams. Where's my current stream? Oh, here we go. All right. Sharing screen number 2. Now I can cut that back on.
All right, now I got that.
Smart views coming. Yes. All right.
There we go.
Finally. All right. So red is the other group sending a message. Green would be my group or me sending a message, etc. So yeah, they're just.
These are all messages, right? These are all messages. Mm-hmm. And this is part of this same group, the match group messages. Okay.
Yep. Now, so and there goes our red question mark here. I mean, message thing here. So now if I send a message from the other phone, well, I guess that's already showing. So it's not even recognizing that I'm already on the page viewing the message.
Yeah, it won't do that. We haven't set up any triggers for the message to be read. We still haven't really decided on how to do that yet. All right, so this is something we got to think through. Because they're not clicking on. Well, say they're out of the app, they're clicking into the push notification, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You're clicking into the push notification.
And I thought that there was something that almost like when you're saving a link, like in the bubble documents, where it opens you up directly to that page on the link, although it's just one fluid, bubble document, that it can tell based on your scroll position.
All right, let's look into that because I don't know the answer to that. How can you trigger an action? The question is, and tell me if I'm wrong. The question is, can you trigger an action from your scroll position on the screen, right?
Right.
All right. Can you trigger?
Or maybe even just finding out how to. Here, let me disconnect that.
Workflow.
My screen here.
Scroll position on the screen. Oh. Workflow triggered based on scroll position. Yeah, let me share my screen for a sec.
Yeah, go ahead.
Keep doing what you're doing. I'm just going to kick you off, and then I'll bring you back. All right, let's see what we got here. Suggestion to add a workflow trigger based on a scroll position. This would be great for example for animations. When the user scrolls down, elements appear in a certain order. Right now, the scroll position trigger can only be used to hide and show elements or to change their properties, but not for animations. Where is that?
Yeah.
Where is that? Where is that option? I don't know that event.
Position.
Just notice that there is. Oh wow, this is old, dude. This is from 2016.
Oh yeah.
Holy crap. Yes, I recommend using this as a condition on an element, not on a workflow. A condition on it. You can say that when page scroll is 1,000, make the element visible with a condition on it. Okay, so I guess you can measure it by pixels, is what they're saying here. You could say when page scroll.
Jeez.
I have never done that before. Hold up.
Let me see if there's another bubble forum on that.
Let me test that. So they're saying here you can trigger conditional when current page scrolling position is 1,000. Yeah, but you can't trigger it as a workflow. So I don't know. How do you trigger a workflow like that, though? Click here to add an event. Page is loaded. Certain condition is true only when. Oh, can we do it here? Oh, shit. Here it is, dude. Check it out.
Let me come back to the. Okay.
Right? Yeah. Do when certain condition is true only when current scroll position is blah, blah, blah. Like this. This is, you'll have to toy with this number, but that's how you can change the reader
wait,
sees.
so maybe can you do it if current scroll position is greater than or less than most recent message or something? I don't know, or is it only based on?
I think it's just a pixel. I think it's just a pixel count. I don't know though. I could be wrong about that. Current scroll. Let's see what the manual tells us.
Current scroll greater than recent.
This returns the number of pixels between the top and the current page scroll position. So this is not related to an element in any way.
Right, and then that might not even be able to read a repeating group if it's based on page, right?
Yeah, that's true too, because the repeating group could be technically scrolled all the way up to the top, right? And they wouldn't have read anything yet. All right, so that's only on the page. Current scrolling position. Is there that same condition on the repeating group? Let's say repeating group messages. Scroll. There's no scroll.
Let's check the form. Scroll. Repeating group scroll.
Some plus new this
okay, trigger. So Zero Code has a repeating group scrolling position detector.
Ooh, all right, sweet plugin. Let's do it.
Let me drop that in the chat. There you go. All right, so that's coming through right now.
Nice. All right. We have published a new plugin, detect the current scrolling position of a repeating group use case, set a custom state to show only 10 items in your repeating group. I guess the question here is going to be, can it trigger a workflow? Or is it only front end? Oh, we got to pay for it. All right, here, check it out. I'm on the agency plan with this app, so I can install it for free. Detect scroll position for Ardry. Detect. Scroll.
And okay. Yeah, I'm looking at their demo. So every time you scroll, it's writing the pixels on the side.
Yeah, it's got an event. Check it out, dude. A position detector current position percentage is more than threshold. So we can say now, let's get rid of this. This is not going to work. That's based on the page, but we can say Wait, where is it? An input is clicked. An element has a. I don't see it. Maybe it has to be in. I have to probably put it on the page.
On the page.
Yeah. Position detector.
Yep.
I guess I can put that here. I'm gonna need to put in the. I worked with these types before. Usually they make you put the group ID, so I'll have to do. I have to expose the HTML tags or whatever.
Yeah, so that way it knows which repeating group to
Yeah.
mess with. Yeah.
Do you know where to do that? I forget.
Yeah. I think on general, and then
General.
at the bottom. Wait, is it at the bottom? No. Hold on. I'll tell you 1 second. Let me close out of that one. Go back. Settings. It's crazy. It's not showing up.
Like tags, right? It's called tag.
I feel like I'm looking. Oh yeah, it is. So scroll. So it's right under general appearances. Yep.
General appearance. Oh, right
Yeah,
here.
there you
God
go.
damn it. I
Yeah.
read it. I scrolled
Right.
past it like 6 times.
Yeah.
All right. So then I have to go to the repeating group. I'm just going to do it on the repeating group combos. Repeating group combos. So I'll set the tag ID to RG combos. And then put this into the group ID here. And the threshold is 40%. I don't really understand how that works. The percent of scroll to trigger the event current position is 40% more than the threshold. I don't really know what that means yet. We'll probably have to dig into the documentation a little bit.
With it. Yep.
But here's what you need right here.
Okay.
Position detector A's current position percentage is more than threshold. Then data, make change to a thing to change, current groups. I don't have it set up like you do, but you know, like you can do the current chats message, you know.
Let me go ahead and purchase this plugin really quick.
Maybe if I can do it. Actually, I do have a read receipt here. See if I can do the reverse. Let me actually set that up on the other one. Let's go repeating group messages. RG messages. Get this. RG messages.
What's that plugin called again?
It's called Detect Scroll Position for RG.
Bro. Okay.
400. It's got quite a few installs too. 476.
And it's zero code, so a little more trustworthy than normal.
Exactly. All right. Repeating.
All right, so that's purchase. That is now on my account.
First items. Then we're going to change the read is equal to no.
Let me just create a save point too. Heading scroll.
Oh shit, man. It did it. It changed them all to no. Did it create more? Is that what happened? I would set up create to more. Make changes to a message. Oh no. It just yeah, this is pretty interesting. You seeing what's happening here?
Yeah,
Like I got this one. I'm just gonna keep adding these things, and when I scroll, it's changing all these to no. So I don't really understand how it works with the percentage. I think you'll have to just kind of toy with this condition, or the threshold, but it definitely scrolling does trigger that event. So I think this plugin is what you need.
Okay. Yep. So I just got the plugin. Let me add that. Let me get an ID on that repeating group. If I don't already have one set on it. We'll call this chat repeating group, whatever. All right. I guess I can bring my screen back up and share it.
Hey, Dwight, you think that we could pick this up either Thursday or Thursday or Friday? I think you have,
Thursday.
You're kind of on the right path here.
Mhm.
And I think you'll probably get most of it done without me, but I do want to come back and just close out that scrolling. Actually, this might do that too. This might be good for that, because you could just have the thing like the message pop up whenever you scroll up a little bit. If you can set that condition, you could just do the same thing with the more messages below thing. So this may do everything that you need.
Yeah, the whole shortcut.
Yeah.
After we just put in time, yeah.
Wait, does that mean that we didn't even have to do any of that back-end workflow shit?
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Jesus Christ. All right, well, that was a long route to get to this plugin.
Yep.
Probably
One search.
Looked up that first.
Yep. But I guess maybe we wouldn't have known what to search for, so I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, man. So why don't
I'll play around with this, and then we can sync back up, this week Thursday or something, and see what happens.
Yeah, let me know. Let me know how far you get, and I actually kind of want to see the results. So even if you get it and you want to just show how you did it, I'd be really curious to see that.
Yep.
On the stream, if you want, just jump back on and kind of take me through it. That'd be cool.
Awesome.
All right. Catch you later, Dwight. Thanks, man.
All right, man.
Later.